Imagine this. You're standing on an island. Blue skies, a blue-green sea, and clear waters at your feet. The beach is glowing under the sun. A soft breeze caresses your face. All you hear is the calm and soft waves. This is your home now, you think. But soon, the sound of the waves morph into a thick blade slapping noise. The military is at work, and you are reminded immediately that you're occupying foreign land, and their rightful owners might be here with their own choppers anytime soon. A bead of sweat drops down your forehead. This won't be a nice summer. This is what the Chinese PLA is bracing for. This is what Xi Jinping is bracing for. Because the rightful owners, the Philippines and Vietnam, are almost locked and loaded. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Shubhangi, and in this video I will tell you how the conquest for the Spratly Islands is about to begin. So let's start. China may be a compulsive bully, but the Southeast Asian nations are also no longer ready to tolerate its compulsive bullying in the South China Sea region. In fact, with an emboldened Vietnam and a changing Philippines, China might as well have to vacate the illegally occupied parts of the Spratly Islands. The Spratly Islands are an archipelago located in the South China Sea. It lies off the coast of the Philippines, southern Vietnam, and Malaysia. The islands are believed to offer rich fishing grounds and significant oil and natural gas reserves. Moreover, they are located in strategic shipping lanes, which makes them strategically significant. Until 1988, the major natural islands in the archipelago were under Vietnamese control. However, in 1988, China killed 74 Vietnamese sailors in the Battle of the Spratly Islands and occupied a large portion of the Spratly Islands. Presently, military forces from Malaysia, Taiwan, Vietnam, the Philippines, and the People's Republic of China control different parts of the Spratly Islands. However, China's behavior is particularly hawkish given that its occupation of some natural islands in the archipelago has no basis in international law. China claims sovereignty over the Spratly Islands on the basis of the make-believe historical maritime rights in line with its 9-line theory to control the entire South China Sea. Since 1988, China has been in de facto control of parts of the Spratly Islands. The Philippines, Malaysia, and Vietnam did oppose China's illegal occupation of some of the Spratly Islands. However, the ASEAN countries were never bold enough in their approach to push China back. Yet, things have been changing over the past 1 year or so. Take the Philippines, for example. The Philippines is turning exceedingly anti-China. The pro-China president of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, has seen his approval ratings decline over the recent past. Now, when the Philippines goes to polls next year, it is expected to elect an anti-China and pro-US leader as the country's next president. With a China hawk in power, the Philippines is bound to push back against Chinese aggression. Even presently, the Philippines' defense establishment, comprising of the military and top security officials, finds itself at odds with their country's pro-China president. Even the Filipino military leadership is waiting for a new anti-China president to take charge of affairs, after which it will push the envelope against China. In March this year, the Philippines also signed a pact with India to import the BrahMos cruise missile, the fastest supersonic cruise missile in the world. While the mood in the Philippines is turning anti-China, Hanoi was always hostile towards Beijing. In 1979, Vietnam had even beaten back a Chinese attempt to invade it. In recent years, Vietnam has managed to emerge as a much bigger threat than what China would have fancied. Hanoi has achieved unprecedented success in securing multinational companies that are moving out of China. Between April 2018 and August 2019, 56 companies relocated their production out of China owing to the trade war between Beijing and Washington. Vietnam managed to attract 26 of these companies. In terms of military firepower also, Vietnam is countering Chinese aggression. Hanoi is reportedly building up its own maritime militia in the South China Sea region. The European Union estimates that the Vietnamese militia comprises 8,000 fishing boats and 46,000 fishermen. But the Chinese military magazine pegs the number of fishermen at over 70,000. Vietnam is building up a strong maritime militia in order to counter China's fishermen militia that harass interests of other countries in the South China Sea. Meanwhile, Hanoi has also secured the defense cooperation of both Moscow and Tokyo. Japan recently signed a military cooperation agreement with Vietnam that allows Tokyo to transfer its defense technology to the Southeast Asian nation. Meanwhile, Russia is also looking to arm Vietnam with nuclear-powered submarines that could prove disastrous for China. Vietnam is clearly making preparations to drive a belligerent China far away from the Spratly Islands, which could even put more pressure on Beijing. With a stronger Vietnam and a changed Philippines, China will ultimately have to vacate the illegally occupied parts of the Spratly Islands. If the Philippines and the Vietnam keep getting stronger, China will ultimately have to cede ground and give up on its illegal claims.